Have a break, have a coffee. Welcome to another episode of Unpacked, the Siemens Packaging Podcast. It's almost unbelievable, but it's true. A year ago, we recorded the first episode of our podcast. Since then, I've had a lot of insights into what is driving the packaging industry. Here are just a few takes from our previous episodes.
Actually, as we are facing it all now, is the lack of skilled labor.
The first 50% is pretty easy. The last 10% is so challenging we may need to rethink our machine fundamentals.
Companies are growing, the demand of production is growing also, but the space is all the same.
However, there's one question left. What does this mean for Siemens? How can we as a partner support the packaging industry? This is why I have a special guest today. Matthias Porzig is Head of Packaging Solutions at Siemens, and together we will look at the big trends in the first year of Unpacked. We have a lot in store today, so bear with us if this may take a slightly larger cup of coffee. Hello, Matthias. Thank you so much for taking the time today.
Yeah, thanks for having me here.
Matthias, as Head of Packaging Solutions at Siemens, you're a packaging specialist, and I'm very happy to have you on our show because I'm looking forward to you helping me to put some of the topics of the last episodes into context. And one topic especially springs to my mind that has been addressed in essentially every episode that we had, and that is the topic of sustainability. And I have prepared some statements, and let's listen.
Lots going on in the beverage market today. Lots of work replacing single-use plastics in the secondary packaging market.
Eco-friendly packaging is extremely important. To be competitive, we need to design machines that are capable to run innovative material, for example, paper-based material.
Matthias, is this a trend? Can you say it like that? Use paper, not plastics?
I would say sustainability overall is a huge trend. It's a mega trend. There is no wonder because we all are familiar with images of plastic pollution. And I think there's no doubt that we need to act. But in my eyes, it doesn't have to be paper or cardboard all the time because there are also other materials available on the market, like monofilm or recycling material, let's say it in that way. And the problem is that the consumer sometimes cannot differentiate between new sustainable material or an old-fashioned plastic packaging. And when he's in doubt, he will choose paper packaging. And just as a short hint here, this paper is not normal paper. It's often a compound material, and you have problems when you want to recycle it later. But coming back to the machine building, it doesn't matter if you use paper or monofilm or other new materials, you have to do something with your machines. You have to change something because these new materials are sometimes difficult to handle. Think of adhesion or T-resistance, or think of the sealing temperature. So you have to do something.
And this need to change the processes and to change the machines has also been addressed. Let's listen.
Up until now, it's not possible to put some products into paper. Some are adaptable or can use to be packaged in paper, but not for every product.
So obviously there's still need for research. There's still a need for development, which is the main domain of the machine builders. But is there something that Siemens can do to help?
Yeah, it's a huge topic for our machine builders, but there is one thing which can help them. And it's a simple buzzword. It's digitalization. You can do a lot with it. We at Siemens, sure, we're a supplier of automation and drive technologies, but we can also support our customers with simulation tools for the machine itself, and the material behavior. With these so-called multiphysics simulations, we can simulate the machine together with the material. So the whole behavior of the machine. This is really, really interesting and gives us a lot of opportunities. And with us, I mean the customer, the machine builder, and us as Siemens. And we want to secure the competitiveness of our customers, and we want to make sure that they are successful in the future too.
This sounds very interesting, but as with all big topics, the devil is often in the details. So how does this work in practice?
Yeah, the devil is in the details. You're saying it right. The problem is you need parameters for these kind of simulations. And the challenge is that these parameters are hard to get. So think of the friction coefficient or temperature behavior, or the most interesting part is the correlation of these parameters on one another. And what we do is we use digitalization. We use digital solutions. With the help of our Industrial Edge, a part of our IIoT portfolio, we can record data directly in the machine. We can record it there in high frequency and in real time, and then we can process it.
Because it's not done with having the machine data, right? So you need to do something with it to get the parameters of the material or of the film.
Yes, that's right. That was just the first step. What we do next is we get an AI to work with the data and the model. And this AI will then use optimization algorithms to generate missing parameters. And at the end, we have a real digital twin. And what I mean with that is we get a model of the machine that really behaves like the real machine and the real material. And that is the thing, or this is the point when things get really interesting.
This was something that actually was mentioned in an episode as well, where someone explained the correlation between data and, surprise, sustainability.
And I'm convinced that you absolutely needed to digital solution to become more sustainable. And we can see why. In order to implement any form of improvement, it is essential to have information. And these are extracted from the data.
So obviously, the industry is very well aware of the value of data and the role of digitalization, correct?
Sure, Kerstin, sure. Especially when you take the whole life cycle of the machine into consideration, then the digital twin will give us a whole range of new opportunities. And I mean, options for optimizing and such things, especially regarding resource efficiency. For example, trial use cases of your end customer, testing different materials at different speeds. So that you say, okay, I don't have to run the new material on an existing machine and producing waste. No, you will simulate it first, and then you get an idea of will it work or not. Or you run the digital twin in parallel to the machine. Then you can detect deviations, and afterwards, with these deviations, you can optimize your machine. And finally, I just want to give you some ideas. You can support the operator of the machine, like a pop-up message. Hey, attention, your film tension is too high for this speed and this material. There's a high risk of film break. And this, all in conclusion, reduces unnecessary waste. And this brings us back to sustainability.
So AI obviously is a very valuable tool, also with respect to machine operation. And I have prepared some statements that give a bit more perspective to that.
In the near future, the main challenge isn't just adopting industrial AI, it's the risk of not using it. We need to view machine not merely as a tool, but as a customer.
It might lead to an operational free machine in the future.
And this brings me to my last question, Matthias. As we heard, the topic of AI is also a bit debated in the industry, or there are different takes on that. We have machines becoming customers, but we also have the perspective of AI replacing the human operator on the machine. What do you think of that?
To say it very short, I think it's an amazing tool which gives us great opportunities in the future. And things got crazy in the past month. I think everybody knows about ChatGPT and generative AI. Yeah? So really, really cool stuff was developed there. And naturally, there are always huge expectations, but also high concerns all the time if you have such a huge thing. And as I said, I believe it's a great tool, not only for business processes, you have also great opportunities in machine building. But please do not start with the substitution of cams or measuring inputs and make them with AI now. No, there are better opportunities to go along with, because also AI has definitely its limitations. But I think it's a great opportunity for us, for all of us, for the machine building industry. And we will see how this field will evolve in the future.
Yes, I'm definitely certain that we will have more episodes dealing with AI in the future, also where customers or users will show us how this technology will prove its value. But for today, Matthias, I am sorry, but we have to close this episode. We're running out of time. It has been extremely interesting for me to learn more about some of the most relevant or most pressing topics in the industry. Thank you very much. It was great talking to you, and have a great day.
Thank you, Kerstin.
This brings us to the end of this episode, and we managed to get through all these topics with only a few minutes of extra coffee break. What was really insightful for me was how Matthias managed to flesh out what links sustainability and digitalization. How machine data, AI, and simulation can be used together to improve sustainability of packaging machines and processes. We will see a lot of applications in that field for sure. If you would like to learn more about the application we've discussed, these were all taken from previous episodes that are available on this website. Enjoy! I hope that this episode of our packaging podcast was as insightful to you as it was for me. As always, you can find the transcript on our webpage, and please like, subscribe, and share. Join us again for our next episode. Thank you for listening.